Hey guys, you guys are watching Freedom Fishing, and this video I will be talking about Ned rigs and not only how to fish them, but what to be using with them, what to pair it with, what line, what kind of reel, everything like that. So stick around and you'll learn everything you need to know about the Ned. First things first, Ned rigs are finesse. They are finesse soft plastics, and I use them either when they're on beds or in the summer or winter when they are not eating, like when they want it super slow. Neds are small. This is a Ned. I use two types. I use the Z-Man elastic Neds, and then I use the Googan Neds. The difference is the Z-Man stretch and they're also silent. The Googans are like a ordinary soft plastic. You can't stretch them like this, but the Googans rattle. So Googans I'll use when I'm fishing something really dark water, really muddy, low clarity. And then I'll use the elastic ones when it's easier to see, like lightly stained water. Also clear water too, I'll use a Ned. So that's the two types I use. I don't use any other Neds. I have tried another brand, I don't remember, but it was similar to the Z-Man. It was basically a Googan without the rattles. I like the Googans. Googan baits are a little more expensive, but you do get really good scents with the Googan baits. They smell really good. They put some really good scent and garlic in it. The Z-Mans, they do have a lot of salt on it, so that's also a plus, but you can always salt your bags up. Okay, that's the bait. That's when I use these two. I don't own any other types of Neds. So let's go to when I'll fish them besides what I already said. If I don't want to use Neds, I don't like finesse, but I will if they're not biting anything like topwater or a moving bait. But when they are on beds in the spring, especially if you can see them and you throw a net at them, you can use anything, but Neds are small enough to where they can inhale the whole thing. It'll be harder for them just to grab the tail and spit it out. Usually they end up grabbing at least half, and the hook is at the halfway mark. So that's basically why I'll use Neds when they're on beds as well. The hooks you can get, I only use the Z-Man hooks for the Neds, the Z-Man Ned hooks. I don't use the weedless ones because the guards tend to, even after one fish, go to hell. So I just use the open face Ned hooks. They're cheap. You get like 5 for $3, something like that. The only thing about Neds is they do get hung easily. They get hung easily, and that's about it. They are cheap. It's a cheap setup. All you need is the Ned and the hook. That's it. There's no, you don't need to have anything flashy or have a stopper or beads or anything. It's just the hook and the Ned. What I'll use is this is my Ned setup. I use a medium light fast and a 1000 series spinning reel. I only use this combo for Ned, so I didn't want to spend too much money on the setup, but it's a Lew's match, medium light fast. It's a 6.9. And then the spinning reel is the Lew's Smash. I do like the reel. What I'll use is 10-pound braid. I'll use Power Pro 4 carrier. I have tried 8 carrier, and 8 carrier does cast better and it is smoother. The only thing is it frays super easily, and you're not going to get your money's worth out of the 8 carrier. Even though it is nicer, it doesn't last long. I always go with 4 carrier now. Power Pro all day, every day. And then I'll put a 8-pound, you can even do a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. You can go up to 10 pounds too. It doesn't really matter. I wouldn't go above 10, but I think 6 to 8 is perfect. And I'll just tie a polymer knot on it. That's the setup right there. It's very easy setup. You tie it straight to it. I don't use a swivel. You want it to be as finesse and low profile as you can make it, because you are going to be fishing it slow. You can pop it and fish it fast if they want it like that, but most of the time, for me at least, when I'm pulling out a Ned rig, I'm not going to be fishing it fast. Now, how do you fish it? You know, you just cast it out. You can also flip it and skip it, especially with the spinning reels. And you'll just let it sit, pop it, let it sit, drag it, pop it, you know. Do what I always tell my friends is just try until you catch a fish, do different things, you know. Drag it on the bottom, pop it, give it some really big pops, pop, pop, pause, you know. It just keep doing different stuff till you get a bite, and then when you get a bite, remember what you were doing and stick to it. Okay, I want to say really quick, before I got this set up, I was using Neds on my shaky head rig, which was a medium fast, and you can get away with that, but I started using Neds a lot more, so that's why I chose to just get a Ned setup. And if you are going to get a Ned setup and you don't have a medium light fast yet, get a medium fast light. This Lose Match was only $80, and then this reel was only $50 or $60. Would I recommend this reel and rod as a long-term finesse Ned setup? No, not long-term. It's very good. It's very good for the price. It's extremely well for the price. The only reason I wouldn't want this long-term, the rod at least, is the rod is it's fine. It does the trick, but I want something more sensitive when it comes to finesse. I think that's a must with anything finesse, whether it be a shaky head rod or a wacky rig rod or even a Texas rig rod or a jig rod even too. You know, something you're working on the bottom. You want something finesse. You want something to be very, very sensitive, and this rod does the trick, but it's not going to be something that you're going to want day in, day out, all the time, especially if you take it serious and you tournament fish too, or if you're just straight competitive and this is your #1 hobby. I would recommend getting something a little nicer. You know, a good rod I'd recommend is the St. Croix Avid X, or just the Avid. But that's the Ned rig. I hope you learned something. If you want a bait tutorial just like this one, go down below, hit it, give me a comment of what bait you want me to review, or whatever, like, you know, tutorial review, and I'll get down to it. If you enjoyed or learned something out of this video, go down below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you guys. See you guys.